Hey guys, what's up? This is my top 15 games of this year, and I must admit it was a pretty hard list to make as this year was an incredible year for games. I must admit, once one good game came out, another good game came out. I must say the last 2 months had to be the most dreadful time for a gamer if you didn't have enough money to get all the games you wanted. Lucky for me I did, and I got to buy the games I could. And making this list was tough because it was all about the fun factor, not how games did in reviews and all that. It always has to do with the fun factor, and I hope you guys enjoy my top 15 games. And if you disagree, you can always leave a comment saying why you thought the game I chose shouldn't be at that number, or why a game should be a bit higher. Anyway, I might as well begin. In at number 15, kicking it off is Pokemon Black. Now I must admit, this game was probably too overhyped. It got a 40 out of 40 from Famitsu, and to be honest, it felt the same as many Pokemon games in the past. Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Red, I'm just going to say it right now. It just felt too much like the original formula, just revamped all the time with better graphics, with different Pokemon. It's nothing new. Oh, it kind of feels like I'm doing a roundup now. This game was still good in its own way. I love the whole 3D environments. It was new, kind of, but it's like it was just like bells and whistles in my opinion. But it's still number 15 on my list. Coming in at number 14. Shogun 2 Total War. Shogun 2, for most of the part, was a fun game. It is a loads better than Empire Total War. If you like the whole melee combat and you totally hate the whole gunpowder era, then I think Shogun 2 was a welcome addition back to the Total War series. It's going back to the basics of what Shogun does good, what Total War does good, which is a good thing. You know, it's been around for almost 10 years, and going back to Shogun was a good thing. I never played the original, but it looked good, and playing the second one was really good. Like, the siege battles were good. I just never was good at them, and you had like full-scale battles. They were like one of the best battles you can ever think of. Spears versus Horsemen. That was always my favourite kind of battle to do in skirmish mode. Another good feature was the multiplayer. It actually does work. I've never played a RTS game before in multiplayer, and it actually worked. I had a lot of fun. And here's to Rome Total War 2 in the future. In at 13, Xenoblade Chronicles. I will now admit this is going to probably be the only Wii game on this list, just because Xenoblade was part of the whole Operation Rainforest with the last story in Pandora's Tower for it to come out in America, but it did come out in Europe. But as now I've heard that Xenoblade Chronicles will be coming out now in America next year, which is fine. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles, I must admit first that it's not pretty. The graphics is not good, but you don't judge a game by its graphics, or as I say, book by its cover. This game, 80 hours worth of pure goodness. I've only played 6, which is terrible. I should play some more, but those 6 hours was enough to put this game on this list, mostly because it goes back to the basics of what an RPG is, something that I think Final Fantasy is missing in its own ways. There are some complaints, camera issues, but no game is perfect. To me, Xenoblade is up there with some of the best RPGs that I've played. Coming in at number 12, Bulletstorm. Shoot with skill. And I must admit, this game lets you shoot with skill, and it's either kicking them in the face, lashing them on and putting them onto a spike. Bulletstorm has a good mixture of humor with a lot of action and a lot of emotion into the characters. I'd say the main character to me so much looks like Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. This game so much reminds me of Gears of War in the sense of epicness and the scale. It just felt like it was Gears of War. Completely different story, by the way. Yeah, and Bulletstorm at number 12. Coming in at number 11, Battlefield 3. What else more is there to say than it's Battlefield 3? It lived up to the hype and it felt very good. I have one problem probably with the game, and that's probably the single player part of it. I think it takes too many elements from Call of Duty. The story especially takes too much from Black Ops with the whole flashbacks. I'm not saying the story was rubbish or anything, I'm just saying that it takes too much from Call of Duty, which it doesn't have to be. Battlefield can be about war, and I mean like the things that take place at war, you know that. But for a treat for all those guys who bought limited edition, we got the new DLC that came out, and it's free. Activision, please take note. This is how you pay back your fans for buying your game. Coming in at number 10, Yakuza 4. Now, this is to anyone who actually played a good game back in the Dreamcast days called Shenmue. To me, this is a successor to the Shenmue series. I started all off with Yakuza 3, and Yakuza 4 muchly improves on the gameplay. There's more characters this time in the main story. In the original you only have one, and this one you have 4 characters, which is good. And just recently number 5 was announced, and it's going to be based in 5 cities, which is a good thing, because in Yakuza's formula it doesn't base itself on the quantity of a city like most open world games do. This one concentrates on the quality of a little city with so many mini games, and there's a dress up your own house dress, which is a bit pervish to me. But Yakuza 4 is at number 10. Coming in at number 9, Dragon Age 2. The original Dragon Age was a joy to play, but there were some things I probably did hate that were mostly improved in the second game, and that is that Dragon Age 2 is more fast flowing combat, whereas Dragon Age 1 was too auto attack, which is fine. I've played games like that before. KOTOR is one, KOTOR 2 is another one, and Dragon Age 2 to me felt like a breath of fresh air with the whole combat system. To me, I think Dragon Age 2 felt too much like it's trying to act too much like Mass Effect, the whole dialogue options, and your character can speak and he's the champion. I think that don't copy anything from Mass Effect with the narrow corridors, which stick to an open world environment, which I think I found too much in the second game. There's too many narrow corridors, but in the end I still enjoyed Dragon Age 2, and it's in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, Deus Ex Human Evolution. Firstly, I never played the original Deus Ex or Deus Ex 2, and when I started seeing previews for Deus Ex 3 or Deus Ex Human Evolution, I did feel kind of stupid that I never did play the original game. And after like Deus Ex 1 was like got universal praise, the second one didn't do as good as it should have, and then Deus Ex 3, after seeing on what the game is like, I thought that this game could be unique. It could be a Game of the Year contender for 2011. And when you start playing the game, it feels like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell, in the sense that you can sneak around as one of your options. You don't have to. Obviously, if you get caught, you don't like mission failed like you do in Splinter Cell. You get to do there's always different options. Go through the front door, go through the back door, go through the rooftops if you want. Depending on your arguments, it's like your powers, strength, everything. There's so much things to explain about Deus Ex Human Evolution. I'll be talking forever about it, but to anyone who is a stealth fan, an FPS fan, a third-person fan, someone who likes to do a lot of choices, I think I recommend this game to anyone. That's Deus Ex Human Evolution at number 8. Coming in at number 7, Rage. id Software's long-awaited Rage is finally out, and it came out back in October. And if you don't know who id Software is, you are no gamer. They are the guys who created the very first, well, not the very first, but the best FPS at the time, Doom. It has its own movie, and to me, Rage felt a mixture of Fallout with Borderlands, mostly Borderlands in this sense, and the game was really good. It gives you a whole Mad Max feel with the whole buggies and that. I haven't completed the game, but the game consumes your time very much, and this is why it's number 7, as there's a lot of fun to have with this game.
Rage, available now. Rated M for mature.
Coming in at number 6, Dead Island. Now, this is a weird choice to put as number 6, as this game came back out in September and it had a lot of bugs about it, but there's this unique charm to Dead Island that was so good. Like, first, I know there's a lot of problems with the save feature. I haven't experienced it yet, lucky me, but I just hope I don't, and eat my words on that. But Dead Island is like the perfect way to describe a zombie apocalypse on a tropical island, and I think that Dead Island in itself is a good game. There's a lot of fun to be had with just melee attacking zombies, and some bits in the game when you hear zombies from afar you kinda get scared and you know they're gonna come, especially the infected when they run at you. When that started happening, that really did piss me off. The infected always jumps you and you always fall back on your ass. So Dead Island is to anyone who likes the whole open world zombie apocalypse. That's Dead Island at number 6. Anyway, you guys, you enjoyed part 1 of my top 15 games of 2011. That was 15 through 6. In part 2, I'll be talking about my top 5 games of this year. I hope you enjoyed that part 1 and you're ready for part 2 coming soon.